Hey everybody, this is Chuckie Thomas, the ADHD Screenwriter. This episode, we're going to talk about feedback and how to take it without going cuckoo bananas. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chuckie Thomas, the ADHD Screenwriter, and I'm glad to see you again, or maybe for the first time. If that's the case, please like and subscribe so you can get all our videos as they come out. And please comment below because I want to hear all about your ADHD struggles or whatever else you got going on up here. You know, brain full of soup. And speaking of brain full of soup, this episode is all about feedback. And I have a long history about dealing with feedback and how not to go crazy about it. Because I have something called oppositional defiant disorder, which a lot of people with ADHD have. This is the thing that makes you say to your boss, you know what, I disagree, old man. Or your mom says, go clean your room. And you say, no, I don't want to. Even if you wanted to clean your room, it can even include yourself. If you tell yourself to go do the dishes, then your brain's like, no, 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 we're not doing that because screw you. It's not a lot of fun, but it's something you have to deal with. And I'm going to help you through it. Let's do it. So I mentioned my own struggles with feedback. And about 20 years ago, towards the beginning of my career, I had a script called Consumed, and my friends Molly Coffey and Dustin Jacobs, we were all working together to try and get it made, right? And Molly was trying to do the whole thing right and got some notes and feedback from other people. Well, I didn't like that. And she came to me and said, you know, these are professionals. We should listen to these. And I was like, no, my word is bond. Every word on that script is literal, actual gold that you can go to the bank with. We're not changing anything. Obviously, that didn't sit well with her or really anybody because it was a really annoying, stupid response. But that's where my brain went. Like, you can't change anything. And that was the ODD popping out. So luckily, we mended that relationship and we're still friends to this day. Now, I got to experience this on the other side. And I was working with this guy. It was through a Craigslist ad. Not a great idea. It was at his house. It was an even worse idea. I survived somehow. He did not murder me. But he wanted me to write this TV show pilot that he had an idea for. And it was a pretty good one. And we were working together. I didn't make any money. He was just like, let's get rich together. Yeah, sure. But we wrote the script. And then we had a table read at a studio here in Atlanta. And every note that he got, he responded with like, oh, but you don't understand because we were trying to do this and this. And somebody would say, you know, you should fix this. I didn't really understand this. And he's like, but we were doing this. And I went, oh, that's what that looks like. That's really annoying. So I got to see the other side. So my tip here is if you're getting feedback for your own things, just try and keep your mouth shut and don't over explain. I don't mean you have to be mute or whatever, but I'm just saying these people are trying to help. Like those people are trying to help in that table read. And I was just sitting there going, I don't really care. You know, I didn't care about the script that much because I wrote it, sure, but it wasn't my baby. So I got to see it on a different level. And I realized, oh, I just have to be quiet, write everything down, go back maybe a day or two when the emotions die down and see, oh, this note works, this one doesn't. This one kind of works, whatever. You can go through in a more calm space. So that's my tip. Keep your mouth shut through the feedback. Don't freak out. Wait a few days, go back and see if the notes actually make sense. I remember when I was getting my master's, I was talking to one of my professors, and he has been a screenwriter for a long time out in LA, wrote TV, film, all this kind of stuff. We were talking about just pitching. And I was telling him, like, it just never gets easy. It doesn't feel any better, you know, the more I do it. You know, it always feels like a punch in the gut every time I get a no. And he said, you just got to do it more. And I said, I don't think that's it. Well, come to find out, I have ADHD. And what happens is a lot of us feel things like really deeply. Like getting rejection is like, it's called just rejection dysphoria, I think, where it's just, it feels like they're personally attacking you if they tell you no on something. And I think that's what happened with that story I mentioned about my friends Molly and Dustin. And it felt like they were attacking me, by getting feedback. Like, you're not good enough and you'll never be good enough. That's obviously not what they were doing. They were trying to get a film made, right? And the same thing with pitching, or maybe you send out query letters or whatever, or you get feedback, just casual feedback. You can feel like they're personally attacking you. Like, I'm not sure if the main character is strong enough, and the arc doesn't fully complete itself or whatever. To you, you're hearing, you suck, your writing sucks, you're never gonna make it, or whatever, And that's not what's actually going on. That's just your brain kind of lying to you and saying, hey, let's freak out. Don't freak out. This is not about you. This is just them giving feedback, and they're trying to help you. Unless you bring your mortal enemies to a table read, which I don't know why you would do that, but maybe that's a sound strategy for you. Otherwise, these are your friends, neighbors, peers, actors and other writers, whatever. They're trying to assist you and make your project better and stronger, and they want you to succeed. So just remember that as you're getting the feedback, that this is not a personal attack. I just need to calm down and take the notes for what they are, literally just notes on your script, and it's nothing personal. One thing about getting notes is you might feel like all the notes are legit and you're a terrible writer, or your ODD kicks in and you think, none of these notes make sense, these people are morons. The truth of the matter is, it's right in the middle, in that some of the notes make sense and some of them probably don't. I have a very specific example of this. Director, producer, editor of this channel, Joshua Gohlke, and I wrote a script together, and we held an online table read for it. And there was this mother character who was kind of in the background, and you didn't really hear from her or see her until the very end. And we got notes, and they said, one person said, I want to see more of the mother. Bring her in earlier and let's see her. Note number 2 said, I don't want to see the mother at all. Get rid of her, let's just have her like a spirit or something. Obviously, we can't do both of those. One of those is right and one of those is wrong. And honestly, which one is it? I don't know. It's a process, right? Going through these things and figuring out what works. So contradictory notes like that, you can't use every single note you get. The tip is, you can't use everything, and ultimately it's up to you. It's your project, your baby, and you know what works. So after you take time and think about these things, write them down, put them away, forget about them, maybe come back and look and say, okay, this person had a point. I know I was very angry about this point earlier, but unfortunately they're right. The dialogue in this scene isn't working and I need to cut it or whatever, right? And another tip actually here is, I have a rule of 3 where, especially in a table read, if one person says it, the note, then okay, that's that person's opinion. 2 people, that's a coincidence, whatever. 3 people, that's a pattern, and you need to look at what that note is about, because there's probably something there, and maybe it's not even about the actual note. Maybe the dialogue does work, but you need to approach the scene from a different angle or something, right? And enough people have pointed out there's an issue that you need to address it. But if you got to just take time and put it away for a minute and come back, make sure to remember, not all these notes make sense. Some of them do, some of them don't. You've probably got notes on a script or short story or whatever it was, and just thought, man, this person just did not understand, what is wrong with them. Or you got to remember, you spent weeks and months, maybe years on this project, between brainstorming and writing and editing and stuff, getting it down on paper. You've had this story swimming up in your brain, especially if you have ADHD and you're just thinking about it all the time like me. It's been up here for a long time. This person that you just handed it to has literally just seen it for the first time. Maybe you told them the premise or something like years ago or months ago and said, hey, I'm writing a script about so-and-so. And they go, oh, that's cool. Send it to me. And then you do, and they don't quite remember. And you're like, what's wrong with them? This is your baby. You've been living with this thing for so long. You got to remember, not everybody is going to get 100% of the script. And you shouldn't expect them to, right? even in a table read when everybody's sitting there talking about it, some people are going to bring some stuff up that's frankly just wrong. And maybe some of the twists and turns you put in there didn't quite work, and they're just sitting there like, but I didn't understand this or whatever. And you're like, but on page 15, it clearly says this, right? That's not the point of this whole exercise and getting notes and doing table reads and stuff. The point is, when you send it off to a producer or an agent or whatever, maybe a huge actor that you met and you said, hey, I've got this cool script. You want them to sit down, for the first time ever, seeing this thing and go, wow, I get everything from page 1 to page like 95 or whatever. And you did all that work with getting notes and feedback and having these table reads and stuff from trusted sources to make it stronger. That first read has got to come through the first time, otherwise you're going to lose them. So just keep that in mind as you're getting this feedback, that again, it's all up in your head. It's not up on their head. It has to be on the page or it doesn't matter. To bring back a point I made earlier, the last thing you want to do is immediately start working on doing the next edit of your script right after you got these notes. Your emotions are just through the roof, probably swimming up on the ceiling somewhere. Your mind is just reeling from all the things that you've just been through. Looking at the script at this point is just a bad idea. Now, I said to put it away, and what I meant was to put it away is to physically don't look at this thing for a while. You've got the notes in mind, maybe put those with the script, maybe physically in a drawer or whatever, and come back later. And I guarantee you, this has happened to me too, is that you're going to see the script from a completely different light. I actually remember a time that Molly Coffee and I were working on a script, and I had not seen the script in such a long time that I was laughing at my own jokes in the script, which made me feel really weird, because I was like, man, what a massive ego I have to just sit there and laugh at my own jokes. But the thing is, I forgot about them. I didn't remember writing these jokes in there, so they were funny to me again. And that's what I mean. You're going to see this thing from a completely different light because you've forgotten most of what's in there. Not because it's bad or it's your fault or something. It's just how you can't keep all that stuff. It's on the page now, right? Why you can't remember everything. So it's going to help you see the script maybe from not from somebody who's never read it before, but somebody who's forgotten most of it. So put it away, come back later, and then maybe start rewriting, and those notes that you didn't agree with before might start to make a little bit more sense. So that's it. Those are 5 tips on how to not go crazy getting feedback. Did that help you? Please like and subscribe so you can come back and get more videos. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment below as well, because I want to know all about your struggles. Do you struggle with ADHD? Do you have problems getting feedback and going crazy? Maybe burn some bridges and you want to rebuild some of those bridges? We can figure it out together. So comment below and I want to hear from you. And of course, as always, if you're using this video to disassociate and not write or get feedback or work on notes or whatever, why don't you go do that, then come back and watch more videos. See you next time. I want to hear all about your own ADHD struggles or whatever crazy mental stuff you got on going like me. Brain full of soup, right? Speaking of brain full of soup, this episode... episode. Can't talk. Hey. All right. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chuckie Thomas, the ADHD screenwriter, and I'm glad to see you again.